Good morning, everyone. Hello there. It's always an extreme pleasure to be with each and every one of you, and I just can't praise you guys enough for taking this down the road and really helping people. And so I know I'm a little behind here. Thank God I got so much behind me that from here on I've got a lot of time to shoot some videos. So appreciate you hanging in there. And I just have to first thank so many people. This is actually not from Yaz. This is from Jody Barber. Beautiful card. Jody, sorry about that. They'd stuck Yaz's stuff in here, so I apologize for that. But I just love that flower. It's gorgeous. And I appreciate this. Bound for Idaho. Look what I've got. Honey, honey, honey. Honey, thank you. Oh my God, nectar of the friggin' gods. If I wasn't sucking down this fresh squeezed orange juice, according to our friend in Switzerland, they have better oranges. I don't know about that. They probably are from Spain. Thank you for the cards, the lovely cards that you're sending. Thank you so much. My heart is open. And this is from our Bound from Idaho. Love the son. I guess he does like to draw guns. Appreciate what that came into. And she sent me this. And everyone, I have a lot of these. Everyone should have this. That's in America. The U.S. Constitution. And you should read it. Particularly Article 1, Section 9, Clause 4. Which forbids direct taxation of private citizens and the like, which is what the IRS has been violating everyone's constitutional rights. And that's never been overturned or amended. Supreme Court has upheld that over and over and over from Bush-Haber on. And, everybody should know the Constitution, and there where you know your rights. No matter what laws or what, that ranks supreme. All right, I've got to take off on this because so many of you have so many great questions. And those from the Facebook, I want to get to you guys here with a lot of your questions on detox, for sure, and Girl Gone Vegan. Listen, Kelly, this is Sear Singh Sediment. Woohoo, this is great. You asked me about cervical headaches. This is all about the lymph again, although you can tweak the C-spine and you can get anything from trigeminal neuralgia to everything else, C2 areas and the like. So absolutely, this is still all about the lymph, even though it's location, 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 and what the pressure does, the resulting effect in the cerebellum, all of this sort of thing. It's going back to the same old stuff here. But I want to get to this question from this Lisa from Chicago, because she's asked several times and it's buried in these questions. And I've been involved in a big move and everything, as you know, and it's kind of held me back from getting to you all. So I apologize immensely, but we're going to take off from here. So let's look at this. This is from Lisa. One, for people trying to pull tumors from the liver, what are the ways in which people expel them? I am using this protocol for tumors and so far have thrown up some black mucus. Wow. There's also sulfur coming out. Wow. Oh, I love that. So if you have tumors in the liver, would the closest exit be via the mouth? Well, you know what? I've never thought of that. I've never seen liver tumors come up through the mouth, ever. The way we do them is through the channel of the lymph, which is where the tumors are in the first place. And so generally it's, the body opens them up as they close them. As they isolate this fluid, it also opens this up and drains this fluid through the lymph nodes and then out the kidneys, which is real close to the liver on the right side. So it's just right there, to come out. To regurgitate it up through the mouth there, I would think you would have to definitely vomit it up, and you would have to really yank and pull up through there. I don't think it's going to come back up through the sphincters and come back up this way. That could be coming from the stomach itself, and that would, you could also, if you were having liver tumors, you would also have, keep in mind the liver and the pancreas is just branches of the tree of the GI tract. And so remember, when the lymph system's backed up, it's backed up head to toe. This is the problem. This concept that cancer moves on you like some mysterious diseases is just a ploy to keep the people from killing, I suppose, MDs for using chemo. You know, and this thing on the news that, oh, we're in shortage of chemo and the kids are dying because of lack of chemo. FDA, please step in and tell the truth of what percentage of kids survive chemo. Please, come on, tell the truth to the people as you know it. You know, this is they make it like, oh, here's a wonder drug, it's curing people, and we can't get it, and that's bullcrap. That whole lie, that whole festering lie, that's going to cave in on them one of these days, I'll tell you. And then they show this little kid walking down the hall with no hair on, like walking down a slaughterhouse. I'm telling you what, these guys are so narcissistic. I believe they believe that. I believe they believe in themselves like that. And it's like chemo, the juice, Jesus juice. That sends me out the roof there. Or some tumors broken down into small particles and released via the bowels. That's possible. That definitely is possible. It is possible to see that coming out of the stools. I've seen pieces of liver from a liver flush coming out of the stool as well. And this is the thing, is these liver flushes, don't overdo them. I mean, don't overdo some things. Some people are having trouble because they've overdone liver flushes, and it's like, what are you trying to do? Keep spasming the liver. You know, if you pop out a few stones, okay, but then go after the lymph, because remember, the liver is just a bunch of cells and two major fluids, even though it's a redundant issue. So I've had a lot of nausea this past month. Well, that's why I'm saying this is probably coming out of your stomach. Some of this black mucus and stuff. Very common to see that in the stomach wall there, to have very black putrid matter coming out of the stomach. Seen it in several stomach cancer cases and the like. So this person, whoever's doing this, is extremely toxic, no question about it. But by the time you're mutating cells from their own acids, intracellular acidosis, you're pretty toxic. Because there is protection of the cell with phospholipids, with the HDL in the cell wall. There's protection, and the fluid itself is somewhat of a protection, since the lymph is a lipid-based fluid. So there is some protection there, but after a while, you know, and so when sewage starts building up for years, now some of the young people, the cells are already coming in atypical. It doesn't take much to throw them over the top. So you're seeing, you know, quite a lot of cancer in the you know, in just a few months old category. I'm not sure if we'll continue with the nausea until all tumors are released. Well, first of all, I'd like to know what you're doing to get rid of liver tumors, like an internal black salve, like Canex or something you're taking down that way to help pull that out. But you always want to get the kidneys and the lymph and the kidneys and the adrenals going on this. This is real important, because that's your that's your true channel. And it's just not about liver tumors, it's about the lymph system in the whole body. So this is really, you need to focus on the kidneys and the lymph and the adrenal glands and the GI tract all simultaneously while you're doing this. You'll be a lot more successful. But I like the fact that you're getting up the black mucus and stuff. That's pretty good. These herbs are strong, and I like that. A lot of there's a couple of good black sap type formulas out there on the market that's Native American and stuff that are really good. So yeah, I mean, excellent. Number 2, is the CT scan the only way to find out if my tumors are diminishing? You can try an ultrasound and see if you can determine through the ultrasound. You should be able to determine that through an ultrasound. I would do an ultrasound way before a CT scan, particularly if you've already had one. I remember one lady, we used to do one every 6 months. It was aggressive lung cancer, and I never could get the cancer out of her lungs. But I had her at 74, and she died at 86. And she didn't die of lung cancer, but I couldn't get the tumors out. But boy, she had a full life, buried her husband and her dog. So, you know, it's just, you can still have tumors in you and live for years and years and years and years. But get them out, because this reflects the lymphatic system. This isn't a disease that medical doctors are chasing down the road. This is simply a backed up sewer system. And if it's backed up and you've got liver tumors, you've got heavy lymphatic problems in the gut wall, stomach, GI tract, small and large bowels, probably in the pancreas as well. Not uncommon. Your whole lymph system's backed up there. I had a cheat day and had very little discomfort in my liver compared to, oh, this is probably you we're talking about, honey. Discomfort in my liver compared to pain that I used to have. Well, you're getting it. You're getting it, sweetheart. It sounds like you're getting it quite well. Keep up especially the grape fast for liver tumors. Excellent for that. I've really not seen too many liver cancer cases that couldn't overcome it. I've always thought liver cancer wasn't a difficult cancer, neither is pancreatic. Very few people we've ever had that came into our health programs ever died from pancreatic cancer, except those that couldn't do the program or freaked out and did. You know, when you really sift through the cases, those that could not make and survive when they wake up to a diagnosis of cancer are those that decided to treat it allopathically, or those that couldn't do it all the way naturopathically. And those are the ones that, you know, and those that it's time to go, you know, and sometimes it's time to go. But in your case, sounds like you're cleaning this up and you're getting this quite done. Also, my right kidney did not have any pain. Good deal. Very little discomfort. See how you're getting it? And that's how you tell. Oh, look, my kidney doesn't hurt so much. Oh, look, I cheated and my liver didn't retaliate. Yeah, you're getting it. And that's a, you know, it's a small little way of telling, but it is a good way of telling, because this is how your body starts getting better and better and better. And as your body gets better and better and better, the discomforts go away. And when you cheat, that's when it slaps you the hardest. And when you can cheat and don't have a problem. This is how we test our diabetes and everything else. Go out and have a piece of cake. Go ahead and have these things. Just check your blood sugar. How's your body regulating blood sugar? You know, and so we test it on the job. We want to shake you and see how well you're doing. And so a healthy body is a healthy body. End of story. There's no conditions that men would have left after that. I wanted to see how my body would react with a cheat day. Oh, that's a good way to do it. That's exactly a good way to test it. Exactly. I've been eating oranges, melons, apples this past month. I cannot find good grapes. Well, you're doing good. Thank you, honey. I think you're kicking butt. This is why Fabu Lisa. Good job, sweetheart. Kicking butt, dear one. Kicking butt. Now, I've been requested by the YouTube site. Let me see. How much do you prefer, red or green grapes? Kelly, the red is stronger than the green. If a person has constant under-eye puffiness, is that related to the kidneys? Absolutely. And you know, as you get your kidneys online, you notice how your puffiness goes away. You know, anybody's got bags under the eyes, as they start getting the kidneys in a healthy state, you notice the bags start disappearing? Absolutely. Absolutely. I've got to find this. Chris handed me this. Esophageal gastric mucosa ectoptic. What the hell? I'm curious about this condition, what causes it, and how to treat it naturally. Well, I wouldn't treat it. This is Ms. Super Mini. Move those lymph. That's exactly what it is. Mucosa is part of the lymph system. It deals with, of course, the acid side of chemistry there. So what's esophageal tissue made of? What's any tissue made of? Cells. And whenever you find the cells, what do you find? What's any tissue made of? Cells. And whenever you find the cells, what do you find? The two fluids that take care of them, always. So whenever you see a condition, don't travel down the road of allopathy, because then you'll get confused and everything seems to take on its own persona, and there's no other relationship. It's either an autoimmune or there's some we can't figure it out, and no. Just a bunch of cells and two major fluids. Keep telling yourself that. Sound like a broken record. Good. We want that. Because if you get it, then you know how to fix it. And that's what's important. How do you fix lymphatic or acid problems in the body? Detox, detox, detox. And detoxification is a predominantly base chemistry experience, an experience that fruits, berries, and melons will give you far over vegetables. And of course, using the herbs and kick butt. I'm going to eat this. Look at this. Look at this honey. That thing is so rich. Man, I've been dying to do this. Man. Dang. That is good. Oh. Okay. This is the YouTube people that went from the to the Facebook, and this is the beautiful souls that run the Facebook site, which I'm just so humbled I can't even tell you enough. There's a little war going on here somewhere about JG. Listen, I love you, man. I love you guys. Appreciate this. You know what? People talk about my diets and everything else, and it's like, okay, you know, it is what it is. I don't judge anybody or anything, so it is what it is. We're talking about healing on this site. I've said before, I'm not 100% raw foodist. I try to be. Angela, thank you so much, sweetheart, for your card and your love and support. All of you guys. We're out to heal the world, not to judge the world. We're out to heal the world, be happy. Everybody has their own space and do their own thing. So I appreciate the support, JG. I love you guys. You guys are strong with this. Same old people like to raise trouble and stuff all the time, and it's like, I don't even care. You know what? Find something else to think about if you're losing yourself in there. It's generally a narcissistic statement anyway. Anyway, this is from our great Facebook people. I think there's like 600 or 700 of you guys, man, and these are the cream of the creme. Or the creme of the creme. It's you guys are the healers, and so absolutely. We're going to talk a lot about this in class too. This is concerned about detoxification. Now, remember we talked about the art, the science and practice, and should be the art of detoxification, because let me tell you, it is an art in the sense of maneuvering people through these pathways and this road, because some people are very successful. That's good, honey. And some people are fighting. Some people get the excuse me, the black mucus out. Some people don't. Everybody's at a different level. Everybody's at a different level of lymphatic toxicity, and everybody's at a different level of weaknesses of cells. So all of this combined creates the individual, of course, and that all is impressed by the genetic stance of the cells, whether they're strong or weak, which ones are strong or weak, and that dictates even hormones and steroid issues, neurotransmitter issues. It dictates elimination issues. It dictates everything, because it's all about the cell. This isn't about anything else. It's about the cell. Now, outside of the cell is the two fluids. Now, inflammation, swelling, pain, this is definitely about chemistry in the two fluids. After a while, it becomes about the cell, and that's what we don't want, when it becomes about the cell, because your body exists because of the cells that it's comprised of. So, the big question is weight loss. Now, there is no question that those that are malabsorbed, meaning you're not absorbing your nutrition through your GI tract wall, the biggest hindrance to the absorption of nutrition is going to be the breakdown of the villi, all the acid proteins, high proteins, and the acidosis constantly going down the gut. Because you notice a lot of the digestive enzymes, most of them are base chemistry digestive enzymes, because the gut is, even though there's a mucosa that lines the gut, too much acidosis, and especially in a long GI tract like the Homo sapiens that are ringed, where you have all this absorption going on. This is why these ringed, long GI tracts are not for carnivores. Carnivores have smooth, short, minimally absorbable GI tracts. Ours are extra long and ringed, and then the herbivores are even longer than that. I think it's a crime for anybody to give a herbivore meat in any way, shape, or form. I think that is just cruel punishment, because you're going to make the herbivore sick. It's just what's happening in this genetic line of cattle now. We've ruined our food sources because of our ignorance of health. And who stands at the top of the ignorance of health? Allopathy. And be quite truthful with you, dietitians stand at the top of the ignorant of health. No offense, guys, but you can't follow the natural American Dietetics Association. These guys, they're not scientific. They have no clue. They've been one of the big problems of why our children are the way they are. These organizations need to be terminated and then a new life brought in for the humans on this planet. Or you have the world bankers wanting to get rid of half the humans on the planet. What they don't understand is they're all going to fall to this. They're all falling to these problems. And I don't care how great you think you are, if you're falling to these problems if you're eating these bad diets. And I don't care if you're the Rockefellers, Warburgs, or whoever you are. You've got to understand what health is all about, and we can no longer live in the darkness anymore. It's just no time left on the planet. We've taken it to the edge of the cliff. And now tons of people are falling off the cliff. And it's just disgusting, and we've got to stop that. So thinness, malabsorption, pancreatic weakness is where you're not digesting your foods. And you can see that by undigested vegetable or fruit matter in your stools. That's the pancreas. Your pancreas digests your carbohydrates, which is your fruits and your veggies, and your starches, which is your grains. So when you take a look at that and you see undigested food, that's a big issue. But a bigger issue is the lymph system in the small bowel and the colon wall where you're not absorbing properly. And this is a very serious issue. You cannot fix that without getting the lymph moving if it's a malabsorption, and if it's a pancreatic digestive issue, you can't fix that till you get your pancreas digesting foods again. Both of those things are vital to happen in the first stages of nutrition. So for those that are too thin, I don't know what to tell you. I've talked about this before, and I can only say that you've got to grin and bear it, because nobody dies of excessive thinness if you're bringing in the nutrition. I've had people looking like scarecrows. And I told you about a case of a lymphoma case. He looked like a scarecrow. His oncologist was yelling at him for being way too thin. Didn't care that he was dying. Remember, he was a man in a group of 432 people in experimental chemotherapy. 432 people. Now, with the concept of what's on the news right now with chemo, most of those people should be alive right now, right? No, every one of them is dead. And mostly in these studies, every one of them die. And so this young man's not dead because he chose to follow the road of health. But he got a little thin, so I just told him to put weights in his shoes. His oncologist didn't really look at him or care about him. He was just concerned about numbers. And by gosh, he put weights in his shoes, and he's still walking around today, put on a little weight, but he's walking around today with no cancer in him. His lymph system's clean, and 431 others are laying dead because they chose to treat their cancers thinking it was a disease and lied to by the allopathic community. So, and look that up. So you can't freak out with excessive weight loss. If you are, then you must balance out and do fruits and your veggies. You can do coconut, you can do avocado. You got to be careful about shifting up on too much protein, because now you're going to defeat your purpose of what you're trying to do to remedy excessive thinness. And it's funny, to remedy excessive thinness, you could get thinner. And there's nothing you can do about it, because if you throw on starches, it'll acidify you like it does a horse. It'll founder you. In other words, you'll get highly acidic, acidosis, and then, of course, the excessive sugars will bring in a lot of fungus problems, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And then, of course, there are acids broken down from the sugars as well as anything else, so you get excessive acidosis from that as well. So you got all that you can't do. You don't want fat on you anyway, so then you're going to go to protein. Well, that's where the bad story is. That's where the problem is. These protein people are getting, losing their kidneys, their bowels, they're all getting the RAs and all these problems, but losing their joints because the body isn't designed for high protein diets. Look at the primates. They're not high protein consumers. Herbivores are not high protein consumers. The proteins, if let's use that word, in a fruit is not as complex as that in a piece of meat, of course. But the piece of meat is a byproduct of the fruit. And the fruit is simple chain amino acids. It's all we need. It's the carbon. We're carbon prints, not nitrogen prints, and medical doctors are lost in this nitrogen print thing. We're not nitrogen prints, we're carbon prints, and that's the big issue. So this excessive thinness, I don't know what to tell you guys. I know some of you are suffering. I know there was one lady that's she's only 5 foot and she's 65 pounds. She wants to be 85 pounds, and it's like, I understand that. I do. But on the journey to getting healthy is fixing digestive problems, malabsorption problems, utilization problems. Big problem that most naturopaths and, of course, medical don't understand at all is utilization of nutrients, steroids, hormones, essential. So the adrenals are so essential to the health of the body, not only in utilization issues, but in elimination issues and all types of issues. The adrenals, I look at those adrenals and I'm going, I love the pituitary, but the adrenals are like, wow. Incredible glands as they are. Aches and pains during the detoxification process. That's the natural process. Matter of fact, remember the 2 times that you feel pain or you feel a problem is 1 when you're creating it and 2 when you're eliminating it. These 2 times, my lovely ones, is when you feel symptoms. And you can have an old injury 20, 30, 40 years old that never healed properly because your adrenals were down, your kidneys weren't moving lymph properly. Now you're on the appropriate program to move lymph, to strengthen the cells, to clean the acids out of the body. And these old injuries go, oh, look, my knee's hurting. Look, I was in a car accident 40 years ago. And it'll start healing itself. And then it'll travel somewhere else. The traveling carpenters, as I call them, that's a great sign of detox. When pain is here for a while, over here for a while, it moves around. The question is when you have problems or pain that lasts for months, that to me is more serious. That means 1, you're either not getting it, or your diet is holding everything there. You can be on a fruit and vegetable diet and start going through some detoxing. Say you have some pain in the right hip, and because of the vegetables, you can hold that detox symptom for weeks and weeks because you're just holding everything right there. You have to either, you got 2 choices. You got to kick it up, meaning get more fruits or fasting, or you kick it down and start adding cooked foods, and that'll take the symptom away. Unfortunately, cooked foods, of course, stops the detoxification program. Interesting, isn't it? And then, of course, then the body moves from cleaning itself out to defending itself, basically. So when you're in a symptom that's hanging there, I suggest you kick it up another notch. If you're already up another notch and it's lasting too long, break your fast. Break it, stop it. Get out of the way, because there's a time when to hold them and there's a time when to fold them. And if pain's lasting too long in a place and it's ratting you out and you're up there on a high level, then fold them. Get out of the way, because there's a time when to hold them and there's a time when to fold them. And if pain's lasting too long in a place and it's ratting you out and you're up there on a high level, then fold them. Take a break. Take a break. Eat cooked foods. Get everything down to earth and balance out for a while. You can revisit that spot later on, whatever. The body will do what it's doing, but bring yourself a break today. I do that all the time with my clients. Either way, this is the art of detoxification. You don't want to oversuffer with something that's going on too much. If you're having a symptom that's hanging around too long and you're not up there at all fruit or all grapes or water fasting, go up there. And if that doesn't get it, then break it all. And if not, really hit up on the herbs and really start pulling that lymph system and go after those tissues where the pain is, because that's a sign of acidosis. And of course, there's pain that's trapped in cells. There's memory pain, no question about it, and some of that can come through. I've showed you some cases where that is, where the pain is stuck in cells in the memory banks, and you can feel that. But that's the beauty of detoxification. It detoxes all that out of you. Nectar of the gods. I want to try some of those Spaniard navels there, Dominic. Let me see. Now, remember the weight loss. Can't worry about it. Your family will worry about it. Everybody around you will worry about it. But pump in the goodies. You're pumping in the green drinks. You're pumping in the goodies. But there's this balance because you got to move lymph. That's where the herbs come in, and it can keep you from going too far up into the fruit area, and you might be able to stay balanced and detox that way. Sometimes if the detox is too strong on people, you've got to balance out and go slow. Some people have talked about fruit being too strong for them. Yeah, I know, that's pretty strong. And remember, the condition of the fruit is the most sorriest condition we've ever seen on the planet, particularly here in the States. So even California is losing their edge on we have great fruit. No, not anymore. You're starting to lose all that because, I don't know, farmers don't care. Maybe they forgot how to refurbish the land. I don't know what's going on there, but food is not the same for sure. And then we have all this air pollution that's just not even funny. It's scary. It's so scary. So we're being attacked by our own governments. We're being attacked by the sewage and pollution. We're being attacked on all sides. And a lot of this is our fault because we never stood up. We never drew the line. And so we let these people get away with this. And now it's hard to deal with them. This is where you have revolutions and where you take the government and put them in jail. I mean, this is when you when you fight. I don't know what to say about it. And what everyone sees. The healing crisis. Dr. Morsom talks about healing crisis being events that can last for a few hours. This is what I'm talking about if it lasts too long. The name healing crisis is an old name. I don't even know where that started, to be honest with you. It's been so many years. And through the years, I've always tried to come up with a better name that would give a better image of what this process is. Because it's a process of getting well. And it's simply a process of removing that which is causing symptoms. Because that which causes most symptoms are acids. And you don't have to know which acids, but the symptom that's acids, and of course that yields inflammation, pain, decay, all these things. There's only two sides to chemistry, and so in keeping it simple, and obviously the lymphatic system is the symptom that's real key here. So one has to lose the theory of the AMA and grab what we're dealing with here on this side and understand the role of the kidneys, the role of the adrenal glands in relationship to the kidneys, and the skin. A lot of you are having a lot of skin problems, and I get this every day here. And again, this is going back to the lymph system. The skin is the largest eliminated organ we have. Vitamin deficiencies during detox. No such thing. No such thing. When you're on a raw food diet, you're on the highest nutritive diet you can be on. Where would you be? Where would you get more nutrition than raw foods? And where would you get more nutrition than fruits and berries and your vegetables? Matter of fact, fruits and berries more so than even vegetables. So where do you get more nutrition than those foods? Other than taking a bunch of the superfoods and combining them into like our superfood complex, like our God's Blend, our God's Garden. I love that name, God's Garden. A lot of people probably don't like the overuse of the word God, but I do. But the God's Garden, that's just, I tried to pick the superfoods, not the algae, not the palm scum, and not all the probiotics and the digestive, not the crap, the good stuff. You know, the alfalfas and the kelps and the berries and the royal jellies. That's where your super nutrition is, but life isn't about mega nutrition. Look around at the animals. Life is not about mega nutrition. Life is about two fluids that flow nicely, filter nicely, and sustain health to the cells. So vitamin deficiencies does not exist that way. Could if you took a lot of antibiotics and killed a lot of your bacteria because you get a lot of vitamins through bacterium activity. Thank you. Everybody gives back. You know what I'm saying? And nature gives back. Isn't that beautiful? That's God. It gives back. Everything works together, so everything is affecting everything. When it's for the good of the whole, then it works. When it's only good for you, it's hard to work. But when what you're doing is good for the whole, then everything flows good, because we are one. You know, at a certain level, we see everything as individuals and separate from ourselves. Even God, the supreme being, something different or higher than ourselves. But the closer to God you get, the opposite takes place. You start, instead of seeing everything as separate and isolated, you start seeing everything holistic. Everything is one and comes from the one source. And at a certain level, you start to recognize that everything is the one source. So this is just levels of awareness that you move through as you open your consciousness, as you awaken from the illusion of where you're putting your attention and the concepts of duality there. So I wouldn't worry about that at all. We know that this is something that mostly the allopathic medical community talks about. And I suppose that the universal way of fasting is wrong and God had it wrong. Medical doctors love to tell God they had it wrong. Not me. Thank you. Butt whooping's coming when you do that. Many of us are seeing aesthetic symptoms of vitamin deficiency. No. Dark circles under the eyes get more predominant. That's not a nutritional problem. Nope. Arthritis symptoms appearing, more skin moles appearing. Yeah, there's a lot of things that can appear more, but these aren't vitamin deficiencies. I mean, this is part of the takeoff of naturopathy that I think lost naturopathy, was looking at deficiencies instead of utilization problems, absorption problems, digestive problems. Because when you shift your diet to raw fruits and vegetables, you're eating the most powerful foods and the foods designed for your body. Now it's a process of, are you digesting, are you absorbing, and are you utilizing? Utilization of nutrients requires mostly adrenal steroids. Remember, calcium is a parathormone or parathyroid experience. So you need to have those online. If you have weak adrenals, which everybody has, then you're not going to utilize your nutrients. You can blame the food being deficient in them all you want. But we don't need much of any given thing. Those people that fast are close to breatharian states will show you that. We're just lost in this ridiculousness of deficiencies, and we need all this nutrition and all this crap. If you lay all that crap aside, you'll be well. And if you worry about it, then just juice yourself up some green drinks or take God's Blend or some other superfood blend. And then what are you worrying about? You're worrying about the ability to digest, absorb, utilize, and what we're talking about is elimination of the waste from both digestive and cellular, along with parasitic waste. Key to the establishment of health and vitality. These concerns about deficiencies are crap. That's what keeps people from getting well. Okay. And so I've been given this. But I want to get with you guys more. Surge and the Facebook team. Go, guys, go. I had to hurry here, so I apologize. I wanted to get this out to you. And I will, I've got all this on here to go over with you. But, and I'll try to get this on soon for you. So, thank you so much. And love the honey. Man. Oh, and the cards, I love you all. I love you all. Hang in there. Don't sweat the small stuff. Grab that bull, put on the robe, and ride, baby, ride. Love you all. See you later. Bye-bye.